Look, I'm just saying, everybody's on this Far Cry 5 game, and we're going to be talking about that, as well as some April Fool's Day jokes, and a lot of the other stuff that's been happening in the world of gaming right now on Inventory Full PT. Don't go anywhere!
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
I feel my spirits lifting.
Praise the Father.
Yes.
I'm not one to ignore something just because I'm not a part of it. So there's going to be a lot of live reconstructing of what our show is going to be, because 4 out of the 5 people currently working on this show are neck deep in Far Cry 5, and we're going to talk about that. Welcome to Inventory Full, right here on Twitch. It is our weekly talk show, as well as the home of all of our streams that we do during the week, with Stacey taking the helm more recently, streaming some Far Cry 5 last Tuesday, the day it came out. But I'm Mark B. Donica. That's all I have to say. Hey, look, it's Nate.
What's up, nerds? Nate Miller here. You can find me on all social media, Doug Like Nate.
I really threw you off with that. Hey, look, it's Stacey Shuttleworth.
Hi guys, I'm Stacey Shuttleworth. Find me all over the place at Stacey Shuttleworth.
And Patrick Dees.
Nate just broke me. What's up, nerd? It was so good. What's up, guys? Patrick Dees. You can find me at Peter the Dees on Twitter and Truly Slide on your console of choice. How are you guys?
Good.
I miss doing
Welcome
this
back.
show.
Yeah, welcome back. Dude,
Thank
you're
you.
a jet setter. You've got the GDC hoodie on.
I do. For my first GDC, it was a good time.
And it was a good time?
It was, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It's it's an industry show, right? So it's a lot more like down to earth and grounded, a celebration of games and like devs talking to devs. Very cool stuff. Like I went and drank at the W, which is kind of the unofficial like GDC bar. And the stuff that people just say casually to each other at a bar, and like, it's unbelievable. We'll talk about some stuff off mic at some point, but yeah, it was a good time. I can see how the PS5 leaked or PS4 leaked at the GDC, right? Do you know what I mean? And that's where that came out a couple years ago, right?
we got coming.
Did you just leak the PS5?
I'm not going to say that I didn't hear that people already have specs. I'm not going to say that.
No,
What's
not
up,
here.
guys?
Glad you wouldn't say that.
You're not. Yeah, we've got standards here on this show. Damn it. So usually we start the show with what everybody's playing. Guess what? Everybody is playing Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Except for your boy. I haven't been playing Far Cry 5 yet. Last week was a really busy week for me, as they come and go for most of us.
Sure.
I did see Ready Player One, and I don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
And valid.
That bad.
It's not that there was one really important part of the movie that
Okay.
I was not a fan of.
Okay.
But a lot of it, I was like, okay, I like this. But then that thing would show up again, and I'd be like, well, and I'm out again.
Should I see it in theaters or just wait?
I think this is a movie that should be seen in theaters
Okay.
just because of how big it is.
Sure.
It is
Yeah, okay,
visually
that's fair.
fun.
It's still great.
Spielberg
It is.
movie.
And
Yeah.
it is still, there's a lot of
Totally.
Spielberg in it. It's like kids going against the man.
Okay.
Ben Mendelsohn is a good villain in it. I really enjoyed him in it.
I haven't seen it yet, but from the reactions I've seen, there seems to be a clear line between the 80s babies and then like the rest of us,
Right.
between people who like absolutely love the film and are like, yeah, it was okay.
Well, I heard it described on Twitter as a white dude who won a fight on the internet and saved the world. So like every troller's dream, right? Like, and I was like, not bad.
I will say,
not bad.
Stacey, you saw it too?
I did.
Do you have like a quick short summary?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was a fun movie. It was just so much more enjoyable than the book in that they just couldn't have all the expository nonsense in that book. I like the plot. Like I like the idea of the plot, and I think that the movie successfully carried that out. But my God, reading that book was a
Yeah, I agree.
goddamn chore.
See, I've never seen like nerd culture flip on something harder than it did on that book. Because when that book was released, it was ubiquitous. It was everywhere, and there was unanimous praise. And then academia got a hold of it and went, that thing's not good. And nerds like pride themselves in being smart. I'm just saying, like, there was a
It just depends
critical
on-
flip.
But that happens often with major books. I mean, but that's a different.
But sure, but like I feel like normally when things are embraced in nerd culture, like there's some permanence to it.
Well, I think that in terms of Ready Player One, when Klein released his second book, Armada,
Yep.
that's when people went, one hit wonder.
I get it. Because it was the
yeah.
same formula?
No, it was he rewrote Last Starfighter.
Oh, did he?
That's what Armada is.
But it's still a lot of same reference facts. right? Like, it's
Similar
still-
references.
Okay,
Right.
got
But
it.
in terms of Ready Player One, I think because give Spielberg the respect that he's earned.
Yeah.
He has called this a movie, not a film. and
okay.
enjoy it as
Great.
such. I think there's plenty
Yeah.
to enjoy. There are a couple of things that are a little bit dated when it comes to references to gamer culture.
Sure.
But aside from that, a lot of the characters and actors in this movie are just a delight.
Yeah.
A lot, not all.
Okay.
True story.
Yep, true story. All right. But that's what I did. Now, I'm going to turn this over. Let's talk a little bit about a new phenomena that is happening in the world of games called Far Cry 5. And I'm going to excuse myself. Y'all, tell me a little bit about
All
Far
right,
Cry
see you,
5.
Mark.
Yeah, but
How far are you guys? How many zones you have done? Have you completed any?
so I've
I'm not.
none. So you played a lot of co-op though. I want to hear about. I've actually done most of it's the Say Power Yes. Do you know
Yeah,
so
John
literally
Seeds.
John Seeds. That bar, the progress bar, I've been kidnapped by him twice, and I'm
Okay.
almost to the third match. So I don't know. Ostensibly, I'm a third of the way through the game, right? Like, so I've not even dipped into Faith's area. As far as the guns for hire, I have the sniper lady, the bomb dude, and that dope ass dog.
Boomer?
Yes, Boomer's
a
legit.
must.
So are you? So you guys are liking it? You're far, right? Then
I mean, yeah. I've been playing the game a lot. I have the John's Zone, I think almost like 90% complete
Okay.
as far as like side missions and everything. I just finished Jacob's Zone, the Whitetail
Yep.
Mountains.
Yep.
I still have a lot of side stuff to do there, but I kind of wanted to just finish the story. I wanted to wait and spread it out, but now I think I just want to finish the story and then I'll just go back and do the side stuff because I think that's always fun stuff to do with co-op. And then also, we can talk like knowing that I'm going to play the missions over again in
Yeah.
co-op because if some people don't know, the co-op, your progression will not change if you're playing in someone else's game. You'll get perks, you get money, you can
character
buy things,
progression,
Right.
but not narrative.
but no
It's-
narrative progression.
Like, I was tweeting about this the other night. I lost my mind when I realized
think-
that. What?
I think that's okay for
What? No,
that.
it's fucking not like you were a huge fan of like Ghost Recon, right? Like
Right.
you both get credit
Yes.
there. Movies figured this out.
But
How
it's
is this not a thing?
but the
still?
thing is, the big difference between Wildlands and Far Cry 5 is when you change the world, when you take over a stronghold, it's taken over.
Yep.
It's now Rebel Place. Like
Right.
when you do things, there's a visible change in the
Sure.
world. Like so, when you first get to Holland Valley and you're just trying to go to Falls End, good luck getting there without
Yeah.
running into a like there's nonstop. Now
Yeah.
after you've cleared it out,
Yeah.
it's like peaceful Montana. You can sit and fish. There's not
fan
planes
of
flying
peaceful
everywhere. It's a
Montana.
big difference, even to the point of once you clear the game and clear all the outposts, there's an option in the menu to let
I've
you
seen
reset
that.
all the
I love it.
outposts. Yeah, because
Interesting.
after that, you everybody's gonna be gone basically.
Well, so I want to divide this conversation quickly. I don't want to spend this whole time on it, but I want to divide it into two parts. Right? I think that there's the narrative story piece, and then there's the mechanic piece. So I'm really interested. We'll talk about the mechanics and like how fun it is. I'm curious to see how the story is resonating for you too.
I like it a
You do?
lot so far. I think it's really good. Did you guys do the joke ending in the beginning?
Yes, I did.
No.
I didn't
No,
know
I
there's a
didn't do
joke
the
in
joke.
there.
Yeah.
It's not much of a joke. It's real fucking
Yeah,
serious.
exactly,
Dude.
and it's so serious. If you were there, that's what I would have done.
100%. Like, yeah, I do not know why does this exist in a world where Waco didn't happen? They walk in with like 4 people to a cult place that's just been stockpiling guns, and there's hundreds of them, and you're just gonna take their leader? Sure.
I also like I'm not usually a big fan of the way Far Cry start. Like usually some of it, I'm like, okay, I know they just have to set this up so I can run around. But I think here it served the narrative well. It got you a great introduction to the villains and what's going on, but also the stakes, why things are like popping off the way they are, because the cult has been terrorizing this area for a long time, but not to the full militarized extent it is now. And you go, well, why? Well, you are at the catalyst for what is the breaking point of this event that is happening.
So they call it the reaping, Mark. So
Yeah.
essentially, when you try and that was the end of times prophecy being fulfilled, and now they are taking over this. And which I agree. You're kind of the epicenter. There's a causal relationship there.
So as somebody who's played some of the other Far Cry, or at least starting with Far Cry 3, and then it got Far Cry 4 seemed very similar to Far Cry 3. There started to be like a quote Far Cry formula. Does 5 follow a similar thing of here you're introduced to the area, you're introduced to the main villain, and then you're thrown into
Yes.
the wild on your own?
100%.
So so it's the same deal.
I think so I agree with you. I'm 90% of there. I love the setup for this. The first 10 minutes of this are unfucking believable. And I literally went like oh, this is what Far Cry is now. Okay, this is what we're doing.
Just wait till you like finish the zones. Though it kind of there is that weird balance that they're striking of being more narrative focused, so that you lose some of that control that the game is about, like letting you do whatever you want. There's some things where like there's nothing that happens. You're gonna get captured. Because that's what happens.
Yeah, so I've gotten quite
right.
shoot him with the bliss bullets, Wilbur.
Right, and it just takes one,
Which is you're literally getting shot with a drug bullet that knocks you out
Oh
immediately.
yeah, that bliss is a hell of a
Something
thing.
serious.
Nice.
Well,
Hell of a thing.
But some of the resolutions of John's is pretty good. Jacob's is really good. The arc.
Good.
I'm excited to get into Faith because she seems like the craziest one. I'm enjoying the story
Fun
bit
place
a
to
lot.
be.
So, like, for people who don't know, it is about like a theocratic nationalism, right? Like, it is cults gone crazy. They're taking over this place in Montana, and I think for me, so it's fine. But I think the premise of this game, even by the early marketing, when they were very serious about like this stuff has happened, we brought cult, professionals in to consult on the game, and like I really thought they had a chance to say something about gun culture in America, about again theocratic nationalism, about religion. The sense of both sidesism in this game is unbelievable, and obviously we live in
That's an unfortunate term that has to exist.
it exists, and I think that we live in California, so we can kind of wallow in a little of cultural elitism. But so I think the center of the country, I think they are so marginalized in this game. Like the first 10 missions, 2 of which are like, you got to go get his truck back because that man loved his truck, and oh man, he loved his truck, and you should go get that truck. It's insane. Like I don't know. So to me, this point, it's been a wasted opportunity because I think they had a chance to really say something. And I guess just like Ghost Recon, I have to turn part of that piece of my brain out because this is the most fun I've had gaming in like a long time. Like it's really great. It's like go shoot some shit.
When you get into some more of the side characters and missions, there is a little bit more of less neutered political statements, I think.
Okay.
And not on both sides, on the cult sides, but also the residents that are living in the area. But it's definitely not heavy-handed. They're not. I don't feel like they're trying to send a message.
Yep.
But I don't know.
I think the game has nothing to say, at least at this point for me.
There's some dialogue from like the people that you're saving that's like, wow, like you're not as bad as the cult, but that was really racist, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do all these, like, there's just the fact that they all have bunkers, they're all preppers, and they all have like M60s. Like that's a statement right there.
An NRA fever dream. This game. It's like literally like that. What the NRA hopes happens that there's a force and the government's not coming to save you. You better use your guns.
But you got your guns.
Totally.
Yeah, I know, and I hate it for that. But the game is so fun.
And that's what I was gonna say is that I genuinely like love every minute of this game. When you can turn that off, and the prepper stashes are great, Mark. They're like little
puzzles,
like little puzzles where you get like you end up getting perk points for them. Imagine like Zelda's dungeons, maybe not quite as involved.
Similar,
but everyone's
like
very
shrines.
different.
They're a little bit more shrine based.
Yes, there's a jumping puzzle.
one
you have
focus.
to figure out something.
Okay.
It's super clever. I love them. I'm obsessed.
There's
with
a bunch
stuff.
of them, and there's a bunch of great variety. It
Dude,
doesn't get old.
and I think that the guns for hire thing is super. So 2 things. One, the gun for hire thing is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
No.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought Mark was disagreeing with me. I was like,
yes, it is.
Oh, go on.
Well, no.
He hasn't played both.
it's
My
like-
complaint though is they clearly model the co-op after the guns for hire, and it's like you see all those party slots when you're inviting people, and I'm like, oh shit, guys, we could play like 4 people co-op. Nope,
you cannot.
2 people, not even 3 people.
But it is great
Just
when you got
coming
that
off
leadership.
Wildlands, this is
I know.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's
When you have the leadership perk and you have 2 of the specialists, you go collecting specialist mark, and they all have their own talents. But when you have 2 of them at the same time, like for example, I have the dog who will go mark everybody, and you can direct the dog to kill people if you want and bring guns back. And then the guy that flies overhead and bombs the shit out of people.
Nick Rye.
That dog marked. It's so good.
It gets even more interesting when you get some of the other
I
specialists.
bet.
There's a
wait.
bear named Cheeseburger.
I know.
I'm
There's
ready for Cheeseburger.
a cougar named Peaches. And then there's a couple other great specialists, which actually are really interesting characters.
You had
which
me at
they develop all with
Cheeseburger.
I know,
characters.
right?
Yeah, cheeseburger was a good time.
Cheeseburger is a good time. Now, Stacey, I want to hear more about your experiences too. Well, we had one request from your husband about the fire bunker.
Oh, wait, what is this?
I got caught extremely on fire.
Extremely on fire.
So this is while I was playing co-op. So we are down in one of the bunkers.
Is that the one that has like the gas thing on? You
Yeah,
have to
so
flip
you
the-
have to flip the switches and turn the gas on and off. Well, she found the end of where you flip the gas. The room I was standing in happens to be the room that catches completely on fire.
Yeah, you're supposed to be
Fire
in there first.
spewing from the room. So I am standing in this room, and she turns on the fire, and it just
It was fine.
instantaneous.
It was a this is fine situation.
This is fine.
This
I'm
is
on the
fine.
floor dead, and this is fine.
You're,
And so she comes
you're
over.
holding on for life. Hit
She,
control.
she
to
comes
hold on
over
for
and she
life.
revives me.
Yeah.
Which doesn't do anything
the
because you
fire?
immediately die in the fire again.
Yeah.
So there's this actually really great clip on Twitch of me just talking about how excessively on fire I
should've pulled it.
am.
The fire physics in that game are ridiculous.
Are they good?
Yeah, like it's stuff catches on fire.
Including
All that
your
game
damn-
doesn't.
my
the
damn-
the
my damn-
buildings will catch on
Yes.
fire. Like I was trying to destroy like a beehive on the building. I'm like, oh, I'll throw a Molotov at it because the bees they get burned up. They don't get angry. They just
Right.
die. So I threw the Molotov, then went inside to go talk to the quest guy and turned around and the whole barn is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of Twitch clips, we have one here in particular that we're gonna play. We're not gonna talk over. We're gonna play.
Right.
Which you can, if you want to watch this entire stream, you can right now on Inventory Full PT on Twitch. Let's take a look at this clip from your
right now,
times
'cause we're
in Far
streaming
Cry
right now.
5.
Mind its own business over there.
Nope, Boomer's not though.
No.
That's a bear.
There's a bear in the air.
Boomer, please.
Boomer. Maybe if we keep running, Boomer will follow. Or not.
Ah! Ah! Oh no!
Back up.
That bear clearly started it.
Casually,
The bear started
casually
it.
with the rockets.
bear.
Just take a step back. Just take one step back. You'll be
It was
fine. Just one step.
Bear started it.
The calm sense of place and awareness from, hey, take a step back, and RPG the bear.
Best.
Beautiful.
To be honest, the rocket launcher is the best weapon in the game.
Yeah, wait
I
till you
use
get
it for everything.
wait till you get the second one that has the lock on.
Oh, no!
man.
Oh no!
Now that's
man.
the
The
business.
The planes now is get out
Oh,
of here.
boy.
Now, if we can go around, one takeaway that you have in your current state in Far Cry 5, and then we'll move on. Starting with you, Patrick.
I'm gonna say that it's one of the most moment most fun I've had playing, and I think it's arguably the best looking console game. And again, it's not optimized for PC, but this is the Duny Engine's new version. Is not saddled with cross-gen stuff. It is their first all this gen Far Cry, and it is unbelievable. It's stunning. I think Montana's great. So anyway, play it.
Stacey.
Honestly, the freedom that you have to how you approach things and what you do is pretty astounding. And they're down to the detail to where you find some really fun things by looking closely at everything.
It's great.
Also, Faith is definitely the scariest. The Bliss is not to be messed with.
Nate.
I think one of the coolest things that I've experienced so far is in doing co-op is seeing how the missions can play out differently the way that you have a certain zone done. And so like I went to sound like right away on my playthrough and had to like basically save it. And then I was doing co-op on my friends, but we had done a bunch of side missions like before we even got there. And by the time we got there, they were just like, "Hey, we were so inspired by all the stuff that you did that we liberated ourselves." So it's kind of bittersweet because I think it's cool, but then also because I feel like you're missing out on some things. But then you still did the stuff. I don't know, but one of the things I really like
just
about the game
different.
is the game it really kind of feels alive. Like
Yeah.
even like when you stand in a spot, like something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna drive by, whether it's a rebel or a cult member or something, and almost to the point of it being frustrating sometimes because you'll be trying to like stealth kill an outpost,
Yeah.
and a random like rebel will drive up on an ATV and just pull out his rifle and just
best.
try to fight 10 guys, and now they're all mad and the alarm goes off, and you're like, okay, cool.
All of the sense make.
Yeah.
Regardless, Far Cry 5 is one of those things that I was like, I'll get to that. And
Yeah.
now everybody's playing. I was like, damn it. I was just starting to get into Sea of Thieves. And of course.
It picked a great window. There's nothing
Shouldn't
else
take you
out.
too long to
I
get
feel
through
like this.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I think it picked a great window.
I think so too. And what's the next big one to come out? God of War? Is
God of
the
War,
next
420.
big?
And we
and
got the
actually,
DLC too.
Did anybody notice that speaking of 420, Rampage moved up a week? It's now coming out the 13th.
No,
I did
Now
indeed
not
know
the
that.
20th?
I did not.
Yep.
I did not.
Poor choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sea of Thieves, we'll start with that first. So the quest to reach the rank of Pirate Legend
Don't say
has
his
been
name.
achieved by some
Don't say-
asshole.
Yeah, thank you.
So there was a Twitch
Not my
streamer.
pirate legend.
Yeah, hashtag not my pirate legend. I won't say his name.
Thank you.
But at one point, this person streamed for 18 hours straight, and they achieved the rank in just by essentially having his viewers go out on quests in parties of 3. He would join up right when they turned in all of the stuff, so he would, without doing any of the work, not even a he, I'm not even going to do that, their rank would go up. And so as a result, they got up to level 50 early. And so as a result, this had a couple of things. One, it showed the fan base kind of how short the process is, and how sort of shallow the first set of stuff to do in Sea of Thieves is. And then it also showed this person is just a big old D-bag. Reddit exploded.
Oh, shit, I don't
and a lot of
understand the
people
outrage.
so if Rare, this is a quote from the top of the subreddit, the Sea of Thieves subreddit, that says, "If Rare makes a legit shrine to him in the game, I will go out of my way to deface it in every lobby."
Who gives a shit? People have how do you have time to care about this? Like, who cares? He just his viewers dragged him some shit. Who cares? It doesn't impact your game or your experience at all.
Well, the fact that Pirate Legends, the Pirate Legends are supposed to be this status symbol that everybody
They made a big
attains
deal
to.
about
They
it.
made a big deal
It's
about
like-
it.
Because it's the only talk track they have. There's nothing in that damn game except it's like going back
But
and
that
forth between an
doesn't-
island and the game.
That doesn't invalidate the argument. That's like, it's just like in WoW. Every time there's a new expansion, there's a race to get the level cap first.
Sure, yeah.
And even all the way
Or
down
the
to
raid.
servers
Any game.
and who gets it
yeah.
on each class.
Right.
But a new expansion rolls around, the level cap goes around. It's ultimately meaningless, but for that point in time, it still matters to people. So it's the same thing here.
And I'd say for something that's brand new, to have to have the first person do this be in a way that's pretty shitty.
It's a clear, it's not like he just sat for a long time and just pounded it
Yeah,
out.
no, he didn't.
It's a clear exploitation of
Yeah,
the
for
game.
sure.
So that's, I think that's why. And he's, and it's no, he's not profiting from it, but
No.
he's, people are talking about him.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
true.
he's got more people watching him on Twitch than he did before.
I think it's clever. I think
Yeah,
if
it is
it was
clever.
designed for the game, like
Still an asshole.
he's
Yeah.
a clever asshole.
And-
He's a
Yeah,
clever
I
asshole.
mean-
And
like Raphael.
One of the streams that I've watched of Sea of Thieves, I think, put it very nicely. It's not called Sea of Friends.
No.
It's called Sea
Yeah,
of
that's
Thieves.
true.
And if
Play
this
PvP, I'll
is
tell you that.
a pirate way of doing it.
100%. I thought it was clever.
Still think the person's a dick though. Anyway, I find it. I think it's unfortunate that it showed how easy it is to do that, but also if you are pretty diligent and do some pirate forts, those things can level you up pretty fast if you take the strongholds. So I think that it's something that eventually would have. I don't know, maybe in another week, I think we're going to start seeing more and more Pirate Legends from people who keep playing it. But what a dick. Moving on from that, speaking to things that had a terrible launch, according to Patrick, let's talk about No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Rough launch.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky, we all know, is this heavily promised game on PS4 that was going to be the next big thing. And they announced that it's finally going to be making its way to Xbox.
They did.
It's going to be coming with its next update, which is called Next. Nice. Because it's an important next step on a longer journey for us and the community, said Sean Murray, co-founder of Hello Games. We've been working our socks off on this, and it's by far our biggest update so far. It will be free to existing players, and will continue to support No Man's Sky in this way for the foreseeable future. I'm excited for it because a lot of people now going back to No Man's Sky, 2 years after launch, are really enjoying it because it's finally starting to be the game that they had promised.
Yep.
Is anybody upset that Xbox is going to be joining into the quadtillion number of planets?
No, I don't.
Patrick, why did you want to include this story?
Look, I found it interesting because it was clearly a troubled launch, but But B, I think like I think it shows that like the narrative is never closed on games anymore because it's a service, right? And so like I think games can suffer like Sea of Thieves. I would assert that like it was wildly popular, but it troubled launch. I think that game in 2 years, 3 years is going to be populated with a ton of shit to do, and it's going to be people are going to be loving it. Like just to me, it was really interesting how like Sean Murray that was a tough launch, right? Like I think there was an inconsistency between what was promised and what was delivered, and I still think the underlying tech was rad, and I still had moments. I played 20 hours of that game. There was moments I genuinely loved. Ended up being boring, but like they've kept at it, and like great. I'm excited that more people get to experience this. I would say like people should have their expectations calibrated a little bit. Like this is still Sean Murray saying this is their biggest update ever. What does that mean? I don't know, right? Like still so. But whatever. I'm glad that they're sticking to it, and I'm glad that they're finally people on Xbox get to play the game.
Data-wise, it's physically their biggest update because it's 2 gigs. I don't know. It could be something like that. Who knows?
Sure.
But I agree. There's Nate and I got a little bit upset. At something that you tweeted over the weekend.
I know.
No Man's Sky greater than
I know.
Sea of
Nate
Thieves.
was not having
I mean,
it.
it's just 100% not true. So.
And the thing that I would equate to is similar. Is right now, I think probably as a result of No Man's Sky, Rare wasn't completely honest with what this first step was going to be, and it may. And I don't. No. This is all conjecture. This is all conjecture.
I think Rare was. I would
Rare
assert.
was very
keep me
honest.
honest. Totally.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's expectations that were not that just people made, and I think a lot of it comes from the console community because this was a big launch with the Game Pass, and there's a lot of console players playing it. Console games are not released unfinished. They're released full price with a bunch of content. From the PC community, when my friends and I saw this years ago, I knew it was going to be a game just like this.
Right.
It was a silly game you play with your friends. It would have some stuff. Not that much stuff, but they would add more stuff, and then eventually there's a lot of stuff. Like I bought the game fully knowing what was coming.
Same here.
But I understand why people are upset, and I agree with it. I don't think it's worth a full price right now.
Yeah,
I'm investing in it because I believe in it, but anybody who thinks they got gypped by paying full price, I think you are right to feel that way.
I think I've outside of pre-launch expectations because the Sean Murray stuff was utter bullshit. I think they got abandoned by first-party marketing. Like they just let this guy drown, and like dig his own grave. And Reddit remembers everything, and so they were fucked. But outside of that, what I meant by that tweet was not even that I like that more. To me, Sea of Thieves feels like it doesn't know who its audience is. It's not a good Destiny. It's not Destiny, Pyre Destiny. It's not, the shooting mechanics are not great. The sword play is not great. All you do is run between your ship and the islands over and over again, where I feel like at the very least, No Man's Sky, and don't get me wrong, I like that if No Man's Sky had launched with multiplayer, that would have been a different thing. But No Man's Sky, what I'm saying is clarity of vision. No Man's Sky knew what it was when it launched. And so it had purpose, it knew what it was. Sea of Thieves, to me, felt like that's why I meant them greater than. It was just shorthand, and it was also to get people talking. But
it did.
But
It did.
That they said here's a sandbox, and you guys make your own fun.
Right.
Whereas No Man's Sky was like, look, here's where we are. We're planet exploration. It's 7 trillion planets, and like there's a clarity to that I appreciated. That I would have just liked if Sea of Thieves had said, "Yo, we're early access and we're figuring this out." I would have appreciated it.
But I think if you go back and look at their promotional material, and you look at the trailers and stuff, I think their direction was pretty clear. They scaled it down to work for 2 and 3 people crews, but at the end it's a 4-person game.
Yep.
They wanted a boat that would require 4 people to use it. Then they said, let's give you things to do on the boat. Then they said, now it's multiplayer. So now you choose how you can be friends with these pirates. They could fire on you immediately. They could be friends with you and then have one guy sneak around and steal your chest. The game, it's like you said, the sandbox, but it's not just the sandbox, it's the PvP. World PvP is fun. This is what World of Warcraft is trying to bring back, because this is one of the bigger things in the game that got it really popping from the beginning. It hasn't really been there. Having people that could kill you or maybe not, they could work together. That randomness, that's what's exciting in the game. Yes, it gets boring going island to island to island, but when you have a big voyage that's got 4 islands you go to, this one has 5 chests, and now you've got 15 chests you're sitting on, and you got to make it to the outpost, but oh shit, there's a galleon.
Totally.
And it's coming right at you.
It's the moment-to-moment of being with. I think the game at its peak is being together with friends.
So was fucking
and
golf,
adventuring.
though. Like I'm tired of this being like.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's better than those things,
Right.
but it is also among those things.
Got it. Okay, like I've heard that people say, oh well, like it's about being with your friends, but like. So is drinking and going to a bar.
But that doesn't. But that,
exactly.
right,
I could do
you're,
any
you're,
of that.
You're right, but that doesn't
My
mean that
friends
we
make every
can't
game better.
have another thing to do.
Totally,
I don't
yes,
have anything that I can do with my friends that imitates sailing on a boat like
Totally.
pirates.
I don't
it
know who this-
fills a void for me that was not there.
But I just can't figure out who this game is for, and I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm rooting for the game to succeed.
telling you, it's for Mark and I.
To
go,
I love you. I love you guys
You
so
bet
much.
your
and then
sweet
Mark
behind
goes, I didn't drink.
I'm not drunk.
I'm rooting for it to succeed. This is not like one of those things where I want it
No,
to
I
fail.
know what you mean.
I just I don't know what it's for.
You're just
the
wrong.
progression's weird. It's not, I'll take that. I'll take it.
No. The progression is awful.
It's
It's a big
bad.
grind but also
So is the
but
shooting,
I think
so is the sword play, so is the monotony.
No,
It's
the
fucking-
shooting is awful, but it's from a
Yes.
it's a balanced awful. It's awful for a reason. The sword play is not awful. It's seemingly awful. It's much more complex. It really is.
Okay,
There's dodge
I'm not
moves.
saying you don't.
There's combos.
I need to know it.
I thought it too. It was just
Okay.
like swing your sword.
Yeah, that's what it feels
there's
like.
there's like a dash jump thing that you can do.
Okay,
There's a
I need to get
whole-
schooled on this. Then
Yeah.
I just thought it was just fucking whack.
No,
Just some-
no.
No. Okay, all right, go ahead.
What's
I'll take it. I can be wrong. I'm usually wrong, actually. So I just want people to call me out on it.
Hey, let's laugh at stuff. Hey, look. So yesterday was April Fool's Day, and it's kind of evolved into people trying to get people to fall for stuff, and it's just like, fuck it. What do we have? So I pulled some of my favorite April Fool's Day pranks from the gaming world. If you can bring some of those pictures up, we'll cycle through them pretty quickly. So this first one, this is from our fine friends at Blizzard. They finally announced that there's going to be a dance game available in arcades.
It's about time.
You can finally do
It
all of your
really
favorite World of
is.
Warcraft
About
dance
time.
moves. And it looks. Let's take a look at the next picture. Shout out to our iTunes listener. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. CD Projekt Red. I was looking for a designer of game environments, shortened to Doge. And there was a video of a dog taking a lot of calls. And of course, as we know, it being related to CD Projekt Red, it's probably a pretty good boy. But they're looking for somebody responsible to dig up bugs, fetch missing code, and sniff up plot holes.
Yeah.
That is CD Projekt Red's Doge. Move on to the next one. This one was fun. This was from our friends at Hearthstone. They announced that you could play Hearthstone in Nurglish. Can you read and understand any of that stuff up there, Nate?
No.
All right. That, of course, is the language that Murlocs speak. I thought it was fun.
Blizzard used to have really good April Fool's stuff.
Now they have so many properties, though.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And then also they always do it like they used to do it like 2 weeks before, like a week before, and then be like, all right, it's a joke. But now they do it like the day of, and it's like stuff that you obviously know is a joke. It's just
Because they also announced micro events in WoW that were really. One of them was
kinda
like
funny, though.
GTFO. And let's move on to the next one. Thank you for the close up, Steve. This one was fun for all of our friends playing Horizon Zero Dawn. You can get a nil body pillow.
Yeah.
Available only on April 1st. Kill me. Anybody interested in picking up a nil body pillow?
Oh yeah.
I tried.
Ordered.
Tried
Tried
it
to
didn't
do
work.
that
Yeah,
pre-order.
me too.
So disappointed.
Move on to the next one. PlayStation the board game.
This is great. This is actually
With all new non-animated graphics and zero AI, PlayStation the board game will let you experience the mild thrills of moving game pieces on cardboard. Who needs a headset when you can just shout angrily at your friends across the table? Inventory full. PlayStation the board game features a non-4K resolution game board, pens and
my
paper to
favorite.
draw your own trophies, rule books, 6 of them, intense local multiplayer action for up to 4 players, and large and small dice. So many dice! This one was nice just because of the way that they framed it as just total like board games are stupid.
non 4K game board. It's
Non
pretty great.
4K resolution
Pretty great.
game board. Next one. Oh no, you skipped one. The official Sonic collection. Now, one of my favorite things about April Fool's Day quote pranks is when they go the extra mile. So the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter announced a line of Sonic, which is just a crappy drawing of Sonic, and you can buy these for 1 week on the Sega website. You can get a phone case, a mug, or a T-shirt with Sonic on it. And that's why I wanted to highlight it, is because, man, Sega, they got to make that money.
Really trying to stay
lacking.
relevant. Huh?
Yes, they are.
happen.
Sonic in 2018.
Remember us?
Where's Sonic?
They're trying to get Sonic into
Sonic
the new Smash Brothers.
Oh, God. I hope so. Oh, this one was fun. The Street Fighter trading card game called Hotto Stone. Quoted, "Eons ago, the power of the Hotto was sealed inside of a demonic stone. Join Ed as he goes deeper into the world of Hotto Stone." Everybody does a trading card game these days, a Street Fighter trading card game. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't happened yet, but those were some of my favorite April Fool's Day pranks. Did anybody get got by any yesterday?
No, I think it's so funny.
No,
like,
I just
April,
turned my phone off.
Right, like
Don't
April
even-
Fools is the
don't
only
open
day
Reddit.
that like the populace at large will critically evaluate if a story is real before sharing it on the internet. So it's actually like a good day as far as I'm concerned. It's like, all right, we're gonna think through things.
Yeah, that's why is it there only one day of the
That's
year
what
when
I'm
people
saying.
think about what's posted on
Yes.
the internet?
I know.
The one got me. It was that Avatar: The Last Airbender was coming back to Netflix. That one totally
that's
got
not
me just because
nice.
I wanted it.
Oh, that's
I
a
wanted
weird
it
one.
so
Yeah, I
that's
saw
bad.
a
kinda
few
mean.
screenshots going around of people screenshotting it in their playlist.
Yeah.
That's
Kind of mean.
It's very mean. Speaking of mean, something that's mean strong. No, that's not good.
Try.
You can put up that image of The Walking Dead because Telltale announced season 4 of The Walking Dead series will be its final season, and they released this image, which is very, very reminiscent of the first season
Yeah, it
of
is.
The Walking Dead.
that means.
Has anybody played any of the Telltale Walking Dead?
First one.
Just the first season?
First one and then the bridge to the second one, and I've got like an episode in the second one. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
So I
Was
think
it-
that the first one was genius. I think it was one of the games that has made me. That I don't know if you guys know the ending, but like lost my mind. Like I cried. It was.
I think
it was a
everybody
mess.
knows the ending by this
Yes,
point,
yes.
whether you've played it or not, just because
True.
it became such a
But it's-
tentpole of gaming.
Yeah, I mean totally right. Like I think it put modern Telltale on the map.
Oh, 100%.
Phenomenal game.
Yeah.
So I'm weirdly excited about this.
Oh, Clementine, she looks mean. Well, she looks angry.
Yep.
Bless
I
you.
love it. And they've done a good job
tried to
of
hold it
like
in.
aging her up, but keeping iconic Clem. Like at a glance,
yeah.
you know that's Clementine.
It's the hat.
Yep.
Yeah, the hat and the red now after the last season.
Real good.
But talking about Telltale, does anybody have a favorite Telltale series, whether it's Walking Dead or otherwise? Stacey, have you played much Telltale?
I've played very few of them. I haven't finished it yet, but I was enjoying the Game of Thrones one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about as far as I've gone.
I would implore people play Borderlands.
Oh, Tales of the
It's
Borderlands?
I don't even like Borderlands, and that game is one of the funniest games. Hard stop. It is so good.
Actually, right now, since you're watching on Twitch, if you have Twitch Prime, it is a giveaway for this month's Twitch Prime. You can get Tales from the Borderlands. So first, you use your Twitch Prime subscription right here to inventory full, and then you pick yourself up Tales from the
Dude,
Borderlands.
it's so good. Actually, disclaimer, like I went and seeked him out, but friends with Eric Stipe, the guy that wrote it, but like it's because I genuinely thought this was one of the funniest things I had ever.
You know Eric?
I do.
Yeah, Eric's great.
Great.
Yeah. Do you have one, Nate? Have you played any
You know
Telltale?
Eric?
Have you played any Telltale?
Yes.
What? That's the segment. Flippin' go!
Hey.
Hey,
What's up,
what are you
nerds?
playing?
I played the first. Yeah, I played the first season. I played the second season, and I haven't played the third one. I played the Fables.
Fables was
one,
so
the Wolf
good.
Among
Wolf
Us. That
Among
was
Us.
my
Yes!
favorite one.
Yeah, me
honestly.
too. Dripped of style.
Yeah, I love the Fables
that's
book,
coming
so it's
back.
nice to see. Yeah, hopefully it's good. I started the Game of Thrones one, and I want to say that I just was busy, but I think I just didn't like it, and that's why I didn't finish it.
Yeah, fair
'Cause,
enough.
I've had it for 2 years now, and I keep sitting down to try to play it, and I just am not into it.
I own the Batwoman one too, and I haven't started that one.
But
either.
Batman's pretty good.
I
Is
always
it?
liked the choose your own adventure books
Yeah.
as a kid, so I like that they're doing story focused games.
Me too.
I think
It hasn't aged really well, but if you're a big Back to the Future fan, Telltale's Back to the Future is great because they got Christopher Lloyd to be Doc Brown. It's canonically Back to the Future 4.
Cool.
And the actor that they got, AJ Locascio, who is all around animation these days, he's a main character on Voltron right now, but he voiced Marty McFly magically. And they even got oh God, why am I blanking out? The original actor for Marty McFly. Why am I blanking
Eric
on his
Stoltz.
name? No, that's funny. The second actor.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. Why am I not remembering his name? Anybody? Nobody?
Alex
I'm
Keaton.
not a name person.
You're not a name
Really
person?
not.
Either way, the
name
second voice or the second actor to portray Marty McFly makes a cameo in the Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
God damn
Alex
it.
Keaton from
makes
Family
a
Ties.
makes a cameo in the 5th episode as a McFly relative.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool to sort of tie everything together. And also, just if you're a big dumb fan of the internet, Strong Bed's Cool Game for Attractive People was a 5-episode series that takes place in the world of
I need to
Homestar
play
Runner. Also not aged too well, but it kind of fits with the aesthetic of Homestar Runner being sort of like a throwback thing.
Great.
But recommend those as well. Where I went all over the place, so where are we now? Hey, God of War is going to look pretty gorgeous.
This
Patrick.
performance mode.
What is performance mode?
Well, so if you have a PS4 Pro, a lot of games will give you the option of actually increased frame rate or better resolution. So you choose how that extra horsepower is used, so you get that choice. So Corey Barlog mentioned on Twitter this week, he was asked, do I need a PS4 Pro to take advantage of God of War, which is a tricky question because clearly the better SKU is going to be the PS4 Pro. I mean, if you have more horsepower, it's going to be better. And Corey took that opportunity to announce that they've got a performance mode, which allows people a little bit of flexibility. Do they want resolution or frame rate?
Which means 1080p at 60 frames per second or 4K at 30 frames per second.
And I usually go, I'll super sample it because I'm still playing in the projector room, so I'm still at 1080p. So I'll super sample it and have it be 60 frames, so a little bit better.
Yeah. A lot of hype going into God of War. We're 3 weeks away. I'm excited for it, but I don't know if it's day one for me yet, just because of how busy I am.
Very excited. My cousin worked on he is accountable for the loot table on it. I know some things. I'm very excited about this game. Very excited. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Very excited. Speaking of something I'm very excited for, which you don't hear when it comes to remasters and remakes, but Red Faction Guerrilla is getting remastered edition.
Put that on just for you.
Yeah, you did. Man, Red Faction Guerrilla is really, really flipping good. THQ made the announcement this past Thursday that later this year, we are going to be receiving an update for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's going to have new graphic features, improved shadow rendering and lighting, reworked shader and post-processing, and native 4K support.
Nate, did you play Red Faction?
Any Red Faction, not necessarily
Any Red
just
Faction.
Guerrilla.
Did you play Guerrilla? Definitely not.
Maybe?
Yeah. No, you had to remember. You played Guerrilla. You do not forget Guerrilla.
Second or third year PS3?
What's it about?
Was
it a PS3 exclusive?
No. It's PS3, Xbox.
What's it about?
It's you're in Mars.
Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, I didn't
All
play
that
that
matters is they had that new GeoMod 2.0 technology, which essentially everything was made of these things that were meant to be destroyed. Every environment was destructible, and it was all physics based. It was kind of the first of its kind. So you could literally topple a building with a hammer and watch it fall in real time. It was groundbreaking at the time. I think this more standard now. DICE does that really well.
Did not play that.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
cool.
all. That's all I did was tear down buildings.
Totally.
And I advanced in the story so I can go to more places to tear down buildings.
Yeah, amen. You and me both. It was about how many people could I fuck up in collapsing a building? Don't even shoot them. I just want to drop a building on people.
Yeah, my challenge was to you had a sledgehammer at all times, and you could get weapons and ammo and all that stuff. But no, sledgehammer only.
How do you guys feel about THQ Nordic's continued use of bad puns in their remaster? Because they had the definitive edition for the Darksiders, and this is the remastered edition,
Wait.
which is a stretch.
Did it actually say that?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh, I
says
thought you
remastered. No, that's
Red
is
Faction
a-
Guerrilla remastered.
that is a marketing baked line. Several people checked off on that pun. I was curious as to what
That
you.
was a good direction.
Yeah, several people. That wasn't just it didn't go across one
Sorry
person's
for
desk.
judging you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was THQ
I
Nordic.
thought that was
God,
him. I was
no.
like, man, Mark.
No. No, man, I'm reading the copy.
Yeah.
Because I'm a professional.
Total pro.
Yeah. And something that I thought was shut up, Robbie. Said the marketing is out of this world.
High five, Robbie.
No, God damn it. Hey, something that I wanted to talk about, because I think it's a bigger conversation than just what the base story is is Disney is going to Telltale Games to release The Incredibles 2, which we can play sort of as B-roll in the background. We don't have to like actually watch it. But Lego The Incredibles is coming to Switch, PS4, Windows PC, and Xbox One on June 15th, day and date with Incredibles 2. You're going to be able to play through the stories of both Incredibles 1 and 2 as the entire family and Frozone. They haven't announced any other characters, but usually with Lego games, you play through the story mode once as whatever character fits that scene, and then you can go back through as any other character and play through it again. Last Lego game anybody's played?
It's been a minute.
One of the Star Wars ones.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, one of
that's
the early Star Wars.
early.
Me too. Same page.
It's fun. Don't you like fun?
PUBG is fun. Like,
Well, especially now at this point.
PUBG's fun.
That's not a Lego.
Yeah. Oh, what, Mr. Incredible?
Yeah.
You have been unplugged from the Lego community. That is a big fig. Big figs have been a part of the Lego community for about 5-6 years at this point.
What is well?
See, the man doesn't even know, and he's making fun. How
I'm
dare
a
PUBG is
Lego
fun.
conservative. Okay. Let's make Legos great again.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're just expensive. Much like America.
All of a sudden they get figures now. That start costing more. You just gotta look at the correlation.
Build a Lego wall over there.
But
That
you-
Incredibles game is fake news.
that,
Have you played it?
Exactly.
what I have played is the Incredibles game that was featured on Disney Infinity, and Disney Infinity closed down a couple of years ago. I was a big proponent of that, and I completely know that it was just a marketing shill, but I love all of those figures. I still have a lot of them, not all of them, but I still have a lot of them, and I think it's interesting now that we've heard of Disney now going, fuck it, we're not going to do anything in-house anymore. We are just going to go to people and have them develop our games for us. This is the first one we're seeing. I think Cars 3 was the first one, but nobody gives a crap about that. This is the first kind of major release. What's the next big Disney franchise and game that we see? Thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a thinker. But is it a Marvel property? Is it? Star Wars.
I think we could see the Avengers stuff at E3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the
I
Square Enix
genuinely
Avengers
think
stuff.
I think that it's time. They haven't shown nothing from that. It's time they start talking about it.
And do you think that it's going to be more Disney, like film Avengers or comic Avengers?
Film.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be open shared world. It's going to be the destiny of superhero games. I'm not making this up. I think this is a game as service. I think this is.
I mean, if they're smart, they'll do a City of Heroes.
Yeah, I think it will be
reboot,
similar.
basically, because they even when that game was out, I remember when we were playing, and NCSoft got sued by Marvel because there were so many people making.
I bet.
Because they had like the claw weapon
Right,
set,
right,
so
right.
everybody's just running around with their character name as Logan playing as Wolverine,
Right,
and they're saying,
right.
"Well, wait a minute, this is character infringement."
The claw.
So I mean, yeah, it's like the game writes itself. If
Yeah.
they can literally remake that game and just replace all of the Statesman and all that stuff with Captain America, who basically that's what the Statesman
Yeah,
was
yeah.
essentially is a knockoff. The game writes itself. Make your own superhero. Run around. Run missions for Shield. Like
I can also direct you to Lego The Avengers and Lego Marvel Superheroes, which are wonderful games.
Yeah.
That you can create your. It's one of I will honestly say like no joke. The Lego Marvel New York is one of the most. Sorry for boring you.
No.
Is one of the most. Is one.
I hate
Sorry,
Legos.
I do that to everybody. Is one of the most fun open worlds because
cool.
you literally can just run around and destroy things, and people go, "Hey, nice, have a nice day,"
Great.
as opposed to like people shouting at you in GTA.
Right.
You can just run down the street as the Hulk and barrel
God
through
forbid
people.
shout at you as you run through.
No, I know, but
destruction in
it's
your
a lot
wake.
more positive. It makes you feel bad.
You feel great about it.
But you can still just grab a car and throw it, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be late." You know, the Lego world humor is so silly,
That's
and
amazing.
to put the Avengers twist on it, and now the Disney twist on it, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw like an overarching Disney Lego game at some point, where like Disney Castle is the main hub, but.
So
Oh, and kinda
the Kingdom
incorporate-
Hearts Lego game is that what you're saying?
Essentially, but not all of the weird Square Enix stuff in it.
So
weird
the
keyblades.
stuff that makes Kingdom Hearts cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, thank you! Anyway.
Right?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Nate knows fun. He
does.
said he
I
literally
do.
just said PUBG's fun.
I am the fun chief.
You're the chief fun officer.
Fun
You're
chief.
the CFO.
CFO. Yeah, CFO. You're
Yeah.
the chief fun officer.
Calling you that from now on.
Officially
Introducing you.
done.
What's up, nerds? I'm the CFO. I think you should go with that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
You've officially been voted in.
I, Kevin.
Yar.
Yar?
Yeah.
I am the.
Nar.
I am the captain
I
now.
am the captain. Now.
Look at me.
Look,
I am the
it's me, the captain.
fun commander.
I am the fun commander now. Hey, so we got time left. What do y'all want to talk about?
Far Cry?
Cool, go ahead.
What? Who doesn't want
What
to
else do we
vote
got?
for
It's so stupid
Well-
that they're limited to 2 people after Wildlands, and like you can see that there's so much that they learned from Wildlands that they kind of slid over to that team, but they couldn't get that. I am really excited for the arcade though. Have you played any of the custom maps?
I just did I did one of the one that was that's it's a Ubisoft joint with the flooded city. So I screwed around with that for a little bit, but I was really just kind of enjoying the campaign. So no,
I
bounced out.
downloaded a few of the ones that have gotten really popular, and like a lot of them are just remakes of classic maps.
I know.
So
I've heard there's a Blood Gulch. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and there's a D Dust too,
I've heard
which was
that,
really
yes,
good
I
too.
know.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. The game, the shooting in that game is okay. It's not the best.
feels
It's
great.
not bad. I've had some hit registration problems.
Have you?
On some, so I don't know if it's just certain guns or what it is, but I've gotten adjusted to it, so I'm liking it a little bit better now. But it doesn't. It's not tuned for multiplayer.
Sure,
So
yeah, I
don't-
believe that.
my wonder is for the longevity of this game if they actually start to balance arcade differently. Because as it stands right now, all of your perks carry over to arcade.
Yep.
So if you have filled up your perk tree, you're gonna destroy someone.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like, let me hop in the game and
Yeah.
see what arcade is about.
A friend of mine was telling me about that. There are a lot of like PUBG maps, right? Like where you start out of a plane and you parachute, but if you don't have the parachute perk, you just over and over spawn to your death over and over.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Right? And like,
Oh,
just
no.
like just
you
come on.
can't get
The parachute perk. It's
Yeah.
1 point. It's one of the first things you get.
But you can't. What are you talking about dropping from?
I have no idea. I've never played this. This is a friend of mine who said that
Okay.
they've made a PUBG type style map,
Oh.
and you start falling. And without like you're parachuting
I see what
in,
you're saying, yeah.
but,
if
you don't have the perk.
points,
You just
yeah.
eat shit over and over and over again. I know it's pretty great.
That's
Tragic.
hilarious.
Tragic. So
I
I
learned
don't
my
know.
lesson about that parachute real early on in the game.
How's
The
that?
wingsuit is so fun.
I haven't gotten that yet. I'm looking at it though. Well, we decided to take a helicopter to a destination that was, a ways off, and then my co-op friend was driving and she promptly forgot how to land the helicopter,
It's overrated.
and instead accidentally jumped out of the helicopter, which means the helicopter goes down.
Straight down.
So good.
Well, I'm still in it. So by the time I finally managed to jump out, it was much too close to the floor to
That-
deploy a parachute, and splat.
Crazy
That was
about
me
the-
during Ghost Recon. I know they fixed piloting and driving and all of that
So
stuff.
yeah,
There's
so much
many
better.
times
But
where
from the
just be
jump,
like,
it was terrible. Yeah, no, it was the
Yeah.
worst.
And I feel like it's not as bad as that, but I feel like it needs to be adjusted. I was really excited for the driving and vehicles in this game, but I don't think they handle very
I think it's a function of the fact that like there's an obsession with never leaving the first person, and like I would kill for this game to allow me to drive vehicles in the third person.
Yeah.
I just would.
great.
But that's a Far Cry thing, right? That's a staple of the franchise. You never leave that first person perspective. So I mean, it makes for interesting villains getting in your grill and monologuing about their shit. Like, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm having so much fun.
I
with
really
the game.
want to talk to you when you finish the story arcs.
Yeah, I'll call you. Or we'll talk about it on the show. We'll do a spoiler cast. I'd be really interested.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna burn through this game because I'm really.
Yeah.
Way more than sleep, and I really like sleep, guys. I don't know if you know, love sleep, but I like Far Cry
big
5 a little
fan
more.
of sleep.
Especially once you finish your first complete zone,
Yeah.
and you've kind of got your kit and stuff, and you know what you're doing. Then the next ones and getting those resistant points to get to the story markers will go much faster.
Right on.
There's still a wealth of side missions.
Yep,
and-
yep.
Have you done any of the Clutch Nixon stuff?
No, I passed on it because I was
Yeah, I
co-op.
keep
It's one of
looking at
those.
it
It's one of those
and-
silly Far Cry things, just because they've got to lighten it up. But you walk up to this it's like essentially like a monument thing that's got like sparklers constantly coming out of it.
It is visually
He's like an evil
enough.
Knievel,
He's
right?
an evil
Yeah.
Knievel guy
Yeah.
who's like an alcoholic and does stunts on fire and stuff. And there's one where like you're driving a car and there's a plane one and just little fun races to
Fun
do.
side mission stuff.
Yeah, they're fun though. It's enjoyable, a good time. And you get a little perk reward too.
Right on.
Speaking of fun, this has been the most fun I've ever had.
Hey, Morty.
I don't know, Rick.
Why can't I just be me?
I know.
Why do I have to be somebody?
That's really mean.
Come on.
I don't know, Rick.
Because I've been Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. Hey, team, where can they find you? What are you going to be playing this week?
I'm gonna be playing lots of Far Cry. Hopefully I don't finish it. I'm trying to drag it out, but you can find me on all social media, Dog Like Nate. I'm also hosting a few different after shows here on AfterBuzz. I'm doing Bar Rescue now on Mondays.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I just started that at Silicon Valley, and this week and next week I'm doing the last 4 episodes of Altered Carbon. So if you've seen it and you want to talk about it, come check it out.
Guys, I'm Stacey Shuttles. You can find me all over the web at Stacey Shuttles. If you see me on PS4 under Seriously Siri, yell at me and tell me to stop playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I need to stop.
Have you finished that yet?
No.
I'm gonna set a reminder on my phone just to be like text her.
Just
like,
make me stop. I would like to play
Stacey,
Far Cry 5, and I am stuck in Assassin's Creed. Hell, someone saved me from it.
Patrick Dees, you can find me Peter the Dees. Special shout out to Joseph Ferris's game A Way Out. I played that this week, and it's different in a way that I think games should be. I think it's weirdly paced and has some serious problems, but ends with a zinger of an end. And people should play this game. It's incredible. So play it. Truly Slide on Twitter, and Truly Slide on your console of choice, and Peter the Dees on Twitter. Yep, that's me.
I really wish Far Cry 5 was on Switch because I would be playing it on my trip to New Orleans. I'm going to New Orleans this weekend for WrestleMania. If you see me there, check me out. But I'll be back in time for next week's show, which will be as fun as this week. Don't you dare think otherwise, or I'll find you. I don't know, man. You can find all of us at Inventory Full PT. If you're watching this after the fact, make sure to check this out live on Twitch every Monday. If you're listening to us on podcast, leave a review. And other than that, thank you to the fine folks at Popcorn Talk for giving us a place to spit our weird gaming biz. Thank you so much. We love you, and we'll see you in Hope County.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.